morning. Welcome back to English class. I'm Jay, teaching English for grade 3 and 5 in Ganam Elementary School. How's your day going at school? Are you excited every day? Let's start today's lesson. We are now in chapter 4, How Many Apples? In this chapter, we are learning how to count the numbers and ask questions of how many and answer. We have section 3 today, so it's for phonics and pronunciations. We are going to learn how to sound the letter D and T, and going to practice reading and writing the words and the key expressions. But first, here's a review. Let's review with question and answer. You need to make a question and answer for each set of pictures. Ready? Let's go. Question: How many apples? Answers: 5 apples. Question: How many candies? Answer: 23 candies. Question: How many books? Answer: 30 books. Question: How many dogs? Answer: 7 dogs. Question: How many carrots? Answer: 5 carrots. Question: How many boys? Answer: 7 boys. Good job. Now let's have phonics. We've learned the phonics of pair sound with B and P, C and G so far. Now we have the phonics of D and T. The relationship between D and T is very alike with B and P, C and G. D is voiced sound like B, but T is voiceless sound like P and C. For making this sound, you need to feel the airflow around the roof of your mouth. And try to touch the bump behind the back of your upper teeth with your tongue. Right here. So, we need to place our tongue at that point. And then your teeth come together. And then release the air as your teeth apart. But it doesn't mean whenever you make this sound, you always should think, where's my tongue? You don't need to think, oh, I have to stop the airflow before I make sound. Or, okay, now it's time to part my teeth and release the air. No, you don't have to and never. If you can make it, then your body already knows these steps. I'm just telling you how those sounds are making. If you practice, then you'll get to know them. Not with your brain, just with your body. Okay, now practice with C, V, C words. D, E, B, dab, dab. D, E, X, dex, dex. D, E, P, deep, deep. D, A, G, dog, dog. D, A, G, dog, dog. E, b, tab, tab. E, x, tax, tax. E, p, tip, tip. A, g, tog, tog. A, g, tog, tog. Now compare their sounds together. Dab, tab. Tax, tax. Dip, tip. Dog, tog. Dog, tog. And there are more things you need to know. If D and T is placed at the end of the words, then they sound similar but the length of the vowel is changing. Let's see this pair of words. Think of the end of the sound. Though there's still difference, but it's not that big as the sounds are placed at the beginning of the words. But what you really need to know is the vowel length is changing now. When the words end with D, you should sound the vowel a little bit longer than the words end with T. And when the letter T or D is going together with R, like dream or tree, then their sounds are changing. They don't sound like T or D anymore. They sound like dream and tree. It seems that D and J and R sounds are going together. For TR, T plus CH sounds and R sound seems going together. And even worse, when the letter T is in the middle of the word, they all sound differently. Like this word, water, it doesn't sound like T anymore in American English. But British English, it's yes. British sound is like water. American sound for water is like water. Of course, you know I'm not American nor British, so if you want to see the difference more, then you can search on the internet. Another example, tomato. The first T and the second T sound different for American English, like tomato. But for British English, it's same, tomato. But it's not always true that the T in the middle of the word sounds like D or R. Here's the example, potato. The first T is also in the middle of the word, but it just sounds like true T for American and British both. But the second T sound is different for American and British. American English sounds like potato, but British English sounds like potato. They both sound same for the first T, even though it's not at the beginning. And look at this word, button. Two T's are continued. So you may think, oh, here's a T and one more T together, so it sounds super strong. It may sound like a button. No, it opposite your idea. These two T's almost have no sound. You could hear, but sometimes you can't hear. Because some people sound this word like a button, but others sound like a button. You only hear ba and n. Now you realize there's no hard rules in English sound, not like Korean language and Hangul. We only have one sound for each letter and symbol. For D and T sound, you may feel it's hard to make sound and hear. But actually, It's not that simple. But don't worry, as you keep learning English, you'll get to know more rules. Okay, now it's time to open your textbooks. We start our textbooks from B, read and talk.
Read and talk.
We are going to make a talk with these pictures. A wife asks her husband of the number of the vegetables or fruits. And there's a magic by a fairy, so after one night, the husband gets more. Now, you're the woman, so you ask the question and you hear the answer from the man. Ready? Question.
2 carrots. 10 carrots. 2 bananas. 10 bananas. 2 apples. 10 apples. 2 pears. 10 pears. 2 tomatoes. 10 tomatoes.
Good job.
Listen, color, and write.
Listen carefully and color the vegetables or fruits as the same number that you heard. And then write the words in the boxes. Find the fruits or vegetables and how many.
How many tomatoes?
7 tomatoes.
How many pears?
5 pears.
How many bananas?
4 bananas.
How many apples?
6 apples.
How many carrots?
3 carrots.
Press pause before we go next. And if you need to listen one more time, then just play back. Alright, now let's check the answer. Good job. Good job. That is the lesson for today. Thanks for being here, and I'll see you next time in section 4. Have a nice day. Goodbye.